without a shadow of a doubt. Hey man, this is a Crockett Show on social media for a reason. It's the War Zone. And I'm back with the show after the show. It's the 5-star general. Say my man wanted to come on live with us and we couldn't get to him. But you know the general, I made sure we could get to him. And I want to welcome him to the show. This is my man Courtney. And we're gonna have some real dialogue about these youngsters and us old folk. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning back in. Thank you. I want to say that the last show was very, very spirited. And Courtney, the young man that's on the screen, wanted to come on live and we couldn't get him on. So with that being said, you know, I always come back and do the show after the show. And I decided to bring him on. Let's hear what he's talking about. And we'll go from there. What's going on, Courtney?
I'm good. How y'all doing? I appreciate you letting me on. To start off, I want to let you know, like, I hear you. You know, I'm only 31. So I hear you. I hear everything you say. So shout out to you for what you do in the community. We absolutely appreciate that. I enjoyed the conversation tonight, and it's my first time. I don't even know how I came across the page. I do my own podcast, own things, and I just happened to, you know, click into it. I can't even remember what page I seen it off. I happened to click in, and I enjoyed the conversation. But I think here's where I go. Like, in the same breath, I don't remember who it was, but somebody made the statement, you're not a man until you financially could pay for everything. You know, financially you can hold it down. You could take care of your household. You could pay for that. Your woman don't want for me. But there are men out here who have that they are what you guys were calling fuck boys in a sense. They're still childish. They still have boyish ways. So I don't think finance dictates if they're being real men. I think sometimes where the gap go with the older generation and my generation or the younger generation is sometimes in a sense like the young boy you had on prior, right? He took offense and got emotional to you saying, I know where it changed for him. It changed the dialogue. He came home with a lot of energy and it changed for him when he expressed that. He felt like you saying the youngins don't got their own house and can't pay. So he said, and you was like, yo, that's a box compared to what it is in Houston, which it is. Even if he doesn't know it, the size is, but that still didn't mean he controls his house. He got it. He bought it. He in good place. He took it. That's where he got emotional at right there. It bothered him. It was like a shot to the chest. Instead of eating it, he let it bother him. So I understand y'all when y'all say that part of it, but I don't think. I just challenge, like as we go back and forth tonight, I just challenge some of the reasons y'all was saying about the younger, like how you said 13 to 18. I hear you as opposed to the 25, 27, 28. I disagree. I think they got more of the murders and they got more of the gang activity than anybody. I'm willing to put that challenge up like nationally. I get it where it is in Houston, but in other places, I'm talking nationally. I personally took offense to prior to me moving to the South and being willing to go out and learn myself about cars and how to deal with it. Coming from up top, you don't really drive a car that often. You take transportation, you jump in a cab, you make food. You really don't drive unless you move out to Jersey, move out to Long Island. But if you're within the city, you really don't drive cars like that. But that didn't make him not being able to fix a car or make him less than a man. If I'm a top tech student, graduate, my degrees is good, I'm financially stable, I can provide what's needed, I get fixed what's needed. Like, why am I not a man all of a sudden because I can't do it myself? I thought it was about being able to provide or get it done. So I'm asking y'all, I'd love to hear from it. I'm speaking to older people who go, why is it that way? That's why they say they feel like y'all talking down to them, because it's almost a comparison in generation. Where I could go in generations, a lot of the elders was not in the household. A lot of elder men wasn't there in the 80s, 90s. I understand the circumstances of jail and drugs, and I get all the politics and all that, but they weren't there neither. You get what I'm saying? So
I get it.
You get what I'm saying? In the same sense, they wasn't there. Like I could challenge everything when you made the comment they only want to smoke weed and do this. I go, why that? There's a hippie era. There's an era of crack and cocaine where our grandparents, that are the great people they went on to become, they was on drugs. Like every era got a drug era. So them being on weed, that don't like necessarily stop me from being dominant. It is a different world. It is a different generation. I think sometimes the elders don't look at it and pay attention. Like there was a time where where kids got yelled at being on a game all day and get you no job to provide for your family. There's a good couple thousand kids that'll say different to you right now. And they not in the street, but they was talked about and they looked at as weak because they play games. They not in the streets. They gamers. They making 60, 80, 20, 100,000. They on YouTube. They got their own league. The national sports leagues are now getting involved with them. They've made an occupation out of themselves. Are they less of men? They provide and they financially stable. Still got families, still like raising their children. They like you get what I'm saying? So I think sometimes the older generation looks at jobs or economies that they got this day and go, well, what we had. It ain't that generation. Like it's not of that era. I get it. It's necessary to learn. It's necessary to have those people. But it's not going to be in the masses because that's not this is a generation. The elders told us go to school, get the education, go to this, hang out. We went to school. We started to learn. It's cryptocurrency. It's blockchain. It's things that's the next move. It's things that's up there. They getting that ain't building it. Like the cash is out. So I just ask like, why is it? It just feels like that's how it felt. Now I get the premise, and we're not talking about Russell and Future because I'm a Russell supporter. We're not and we're not even having that conversation because he's doing nothing wrong. I'm sorry. Let me go back to the original premise of y'all conversation. He's not doing anything wrong. He's supposed to be doing it. He's in that woman's life. He's taking care of the kids. Like he's doing what he got to do as a man. Whatever Future did when he was with her, he didn't hold it down as a man. He didn't do what he needed to do. It's over, bro. Be a dad from the outside. You still his father and live life.
I'm just letting you, let me know when you're ready.
That's what
The first thing is it's a respect factor.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a youngster, I respected my elders. Mm-hmm. I took the time to listen to my elders. Mm-hmm. The way that I was raised, and this is the way that I feel, and this is the way that I mentor youngsters. You are not a man until you can financially take care of yourself. What man allows his mama to buy his drawers? What man allows his mama to pay his cell phone bill? That's not being a man. So when you're a man, you are financially able to take care of yourself. Now, when you decide to be with a woman, because a lot of these people get on here and they're devout Christians. I'm gonna just pick on them for a second.
Okay.
So I always ask them, well, why did God put Eve in the Garden of Eden? He put Eve in the garden to be a helper for Adam. He didn't put her in that garden for her to do the work that Adam was supposed to do. So what I mean by that, if you're a man and you with a woman, you should have the house, you should have the car, you should be able to take care of your family. And if you can't do that, all this, I'm going to go have, you're not being a man. I'm sorry, you're just not being a man. I was raised by a strong man that taught me those same values. And I think that at the end of the day, a lot of days, when you're trying to take time out of your day as an elder to educate the youngsters, one, they don't want to listen. They know everything. This is how we do. Okay, so look at how you do it and look at where you at. So you don't know where, I'm not going to say you per se, but I'm just saying, you don't know where I come from. You don't know what I've been through. So therefore, you can only gauge being a man on what you know. But if you're only 28, hold on, baby. I got 14 more years. I got 24 more years over you. So in them 24 years, what changed? I'm gonna tell you what changed. The excuse nowadays is I was raised by a single mom. But hold on a second, man, that's been going on forever.
Right.
A lot of us were raised by single moms.
That's a fact.
The difference is our moms were not making us soft as a box of booty.
Absolutely.
And a lot of these youngsters out here, they soft.
Agree.
They soft, man. And the thing is, no, I can give you the game. You know, the old saying, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink it.
I agree.
I can give you all the tools that you need so you don't make the mistakes that I make. But it's up to you to apply them. But they know everything. And I only deal with the ones that want to listen. The ones that don't want to listen, say, man, have a good day. I'm going to holler at you, baby. Right. I ain't going to argue with you, go back and forth. See, first of all, I'm going to say this here about the young man that came on tonight.
Okay.
I already knew you were trying to bait me to get on. I knew you was hot with the comments that was being made. Okay, cool. I wasn't ducking him. I wasn't ducking you. But he was so aggressive in trying to get on. That's why we kind of was overlooking you because he was just in the comments. So the thing is I already knew that one, you didn't really want to come on because you wouldn't put that email address up. It took you too long to put the email address up. Okay, cool. But then I knew if you did get on, you'd want to do what you did. And you said it in your comments where you said, I just want to come on and say what I got to say, then I'm going to bounce. Oh, so you're going to come on and check us, but you don't want to dialogue.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You're going to come check us, but you don't want to dialogue. No, it don't work like that. See, because that's just like right now. Me and you having a good conversation.
Right.
Ain't no screaming, ain't no cursing, ain't no none of that. This is a younger generation talking to an older generation. Now, I will tell my younger generation, I don't know every damn thing. I'm not perfect. I can tell you what worked for me. And one of the things that worked for me was I respected them people. At the end of the day, them older people, I could play the hell out of some dominoes for one reason. I only play with old men.
Right.
I only play with old men. I'm being honest. So I beat the hell out of the average person that I play.
Right.
So, you know, the thing is I respected them and I listened. Because I knew one thing in the back of my head. They didn't get to be 68 by being stupid.
Absolutely.
I don't respect a man who sleeps on the couch all day while his wife is at work. And when she gets home, up his feet on the coffee table like it's all good.
That's a fact.
But then I can't get mad at the man because the woman allows it to go on. So you are attributing to him being a grown-up boy.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying? And I think the biggest thing is when men are talking, when two men are talking, ma'am, stay in your place. All this about husband and wife click up. Now, I don't bring my wife to my fight. I can handle my business on my own. See, that's why I'm saying the wife, the mama, make them soft as a box of booty. You got the flow.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think you think I just think it was coming from a premise of it's an age thing. Because I could go toe to toe and say there's older men with that same thought process, going through that same thing. That because when I say that, right, it was another comment when early on the chat and the other host said, see, he in his feelings. Men aren't in their feelings. That's not true. We humans. Everybody get in their emotions. Everybody got feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's how you go about handling your emotions that make you a man. How do you control those emotions? How do you deal with those? How do you process? How do you express those emotions? That's the difference between you being feminine or you being a man. I agree. You shouldn't be on your couch, your feet up. They contribute to it. I'm all with you for the ones that don't listen. But I'm only repping me. I'm only repping for that 30 category. That 30 when I'm 86 to 90. That is all I'm referring to. We as a whole, if you like really look, we good.
So let me ask you a question.
We taking care of our kids. We and our kids.
What year were you born in?
I'm 89.
Okay. So when you were born in 89,
mm-hmm.
I was 3 years out of high school.
Right.
I had to man up.
Correct.
Now I will say this here. When I graduated high school, I left and I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
At that point where I left and I went to college,
mm-hmm.
I felt I was a man. I've never lived in my mama's house since I was the age of 18.
Right.
I've never lived in my mama's house since the age of 18.
Right.
Because if I'm going to be a man, I'm going to pay my bills and I'm going to do what I need to do. I read comments, so bear with me. Troy Pope said, what's wrong with going half? She pay, I pay. Equal rights, especially when she got a good paying job. She your wife. She shouldn't have to pay.
Okay, so I got a question that would probably answer where he go, right? And this is a younger generation looking to the older generation. What is the man responsibility? What is the female responsibility in a household? from your position.
It's a real simple statement.
Okay.
A man is a provider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with it. That's it. He's the provider.
Okay. That got you. Provider. That's financial. Take care of that. What is the role?
I think the younger generation gets it twisted. Mm-hmm. They don't know the definition of a provider.
Okay. Define it for them.
A man provides. That means he takes care of everything. That is his job. Your Eve is only there to enhance your garden. So yes, she will take care of the kids. She will take care of the house. Now, if she decides that she wants to have a career or go get a job, that should be her option.
Does she still take care of the kids in the house?
Yes. I mean, you both, at that point, you're both going to pitch in. But as far as being...
Hold on. We both got to pitch in.
As far as being... Stop.
I'm just answering it for him. I know why he's asking you that. I know where the premise is coming from.
We just have to accept the fact that we have to provide.
Correct.
If I have a wife, I don't need financial help to provide.
Gotcha.
If she decides she wants to go to work, you see what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Now you become her helper, but she doesn't have to go if you are a provider.
Correct. You didn't answer the other side of the question. That's why he's asking that. So what is her responsibility? I
just told you she takes care of the house, she takes care of the children. And in my house, with my wife, she balances the books. I make the money, she took care of the money. She made sure everything was paid. Her job was to make sure she paid the bills. My job was to make sure I made the money to pay the bills.
Okay, now here's where I think y'all looking at the younger men, and y'all looking at them and y'all not paying attention to what they dealing with. Because what you saying is cool, but then you got the women that don't want to do that. They don't want to take care of the kids. They don't want to cook. They don't want to take care of the house. They out here. They not looking to do none of that.
I'm not going to say all my sisters do that.
I'm giving you a premise from what's out here. And we speaking from the younger male generation that has to deal with it. That ain't what they want to do. Not all. I'm not generalizing. I'm saying that ain't what they want to do. They want to be out here. Are you looking at them on social media? Do you understand? Now, some have great careers, do amazing things. They don't want to do that. They don't want to have kids and provide and do. They don't want to do that. They not in that. That's not what they at. They live in their best life. They striving goals. That's not what they looking to do until a certain point. It's like a checklist at this point with some. So
if you came to learn, I'm here to learn too.
Thank you.
So if you came to learn, then that's why the Bible says find you somebody that's equally yoked.
And now that's an issue. And that's not an age thing. That's a man thing. This conversation that was had tonight, I just felt should have been a man thing, not an age thing. Because there's men in every age group, in every run of it.
Let me ask you a question. You ever play football?
No, I was a basketball player. I played it. I didn't want to play. I was a ball player.
Well, you know, I won a state championship in football.
Okay.
And I played for arguably the greatest state champion in Texas high school football history. And that was back in 1985. Well, you know, in 2018, our school lost our head coach in the middle of the year.
Okay.
So the new head coach comes in and they running the spread. You know how y'all like throw the football and, you know, and all that. Yeah. Couldn't score 12 points.
Okay.
So he called me. He said, man, what you think? I say, you don't have the personnel. He said, man, well, come sit down and talk to me. I go down there and talk to him. And I put the option from 1985 on the board. Okay. This is what you need to run. This is the personnel that you got. So he never ran it before. I'm telling you a true story. Okay. They went to play a school named Fur.
Okay.
He never ran this play in his life. First play of the game, 85-yard touchdown.
Okay.
14 bases, all it was, just a simple dive play through the 4-hole.
Gotcha.
85-yard touchdown. Second time they touched the ball. 65-yard touchdown, same play. Now, I use that analogy to say this here. I get what you're saying about it being a different time. But if you just ran by the blueprint, I'm telling you, it would work. This is how you develop men. I understand that people say it's a different time. And I always tell people, kids have never changed. It's just the way we decided to deal with them.
Agreed.
When we changed the ground rules, it screwed everything up. So the way that I'm telling you is a bona fide way for a man to be a man when he walks out of his mama's house.
Okay. Boom. I understand exactly what you just said. Now, I have a question to you, because of our generation, there are a lot of educated men, educated people that look back at their generation, right? Because I've always wanted to have this conversation with the elders to find out, right? So what do you say to the kid that is mid-30s, a guy that go through, because, all right, when you say the example of men, some people had visions of what men was like. I'm just addressing another topic, not what you just said. We're in a whole nother thing. We just addressing something different, right? Earlier in the comments, the lady host said, as in being a man, can you just not cheat on me, right? Can you not just cheat on me? Can you just, be there for me, right? What do you say to the guy that was raised in a generation where we was raised to believe that's how grandpa and grandma was giving it up, and then 20 years later we found out we got brothers on the other side of the country, or we got brothers on the other side of town, and grandpa and grandma didn't have that happy relationship. They accepted things and they fed a dream to a younger generation that when they got older and they looked back, that wasn't real. What you provided for me as a man or a woman wasn't real. It was a facade. Because in hindsight, when they look back, your grandpa wasn't in that kind of lifestyle. Y'all wasn't happy. These were false images fed down. So you can't get mad at the youth when they back and go, the way you, not you, I'm just saying, the way you telling me how you did it and where you're at now at 68, we looking back at you when you was 40, 30 something in our age bracket going, that ain't how you was living though. Is that not a fair?
From me to you?
Yeah.
I don't do hypothetical.
No, these are not hypothetical.
When I sit down with an 18-year-old, when I sit down with a 25-year-old, when I sit down with a 30-year-old, I'm going to tell you exactly what worked for me. Now, I can tell you this, when I tell you that,
right,
I've been through hell and back.
Okay. Right. You said that. You said
that's why when folks like, man, I done fell off my feet. Well, I can definitely tell you what you need to do. I can tell you what you need to do. I woke up one morning and lost everything. But I knew one thing. It ain't hard to get nothing. See, this is what my daddy told me. He said, boy, it ain't hard to get nothing. It's hard to keep it. He said, you get anything you want. It's just hard to keep it. So the thing is, is when I give it to them, because I had to raise boys. You know, I had to raise boys just as well as I raised girls. You know, and we kind of tag team on that when we were married, you know, because like with the girls, we'd sit down and we'd have those discussions. And they were like, okay, so what's your position, mama? She said, well, my job is to teach you how to be a lady. And they say, okay, well, what's your position? I say, shoot, I'm the dirty old man. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be looking for. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be looking for. But the one thing I taught my girls, if he can't open the door for you, if he can't buy you dinner, if he can't do the things that I do for you, you don't need him.
Okay, I'm with you.
You don't need him. And more importantly, I took my girls on their first date. They didn't go on their first date with no dude. I took them so I could show them how to be treated. And at the end of the date, I asked both of them the same thing because I took them at different times because they were different ages. I say, how did your date end? Well, we ate dinner and we came home. So therefore, I should never hear about you ending up in some nasty ass motel at the end of your date. The same way we did it is the same way you do. Now I look at my beautiful queens, my princesses. They own their own businesses. They got their kids. They financially sound. They're not hurting. And they will tell a man in a heartbeat, if you can't do what my father did, then I don't need you. You can satisfy yourself, little mama. You ain't got to go through all that.
I'm with you.
Now, as far as the boys, I'm going to give it to them real. And see, I think for me, mentoring kids, it's easier for me to mentor girls. The girls listen to me quicker than the boys do. See, because the boys have to be confrontational. This is what I get from them. I got to break them down, though. If they're willing to keep going through it, I'm going to make it make sense. You know, but when we first start, they're very confrontational because they have something in their heads that says this is the way.
No. They're raising themselves.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
They're raising themselves.
Enlighten the people.
No, they're raising themselves. But again, this is where I go. I'm just going off the conversation today. That was the only reason why I wanted on, because of the conversation today. Another topic came up. They raised by their mamas. That don't got nothing to do with. I was raised by mine. That don't have nothing to do with you being a man. But you just gotta, you need other men in your life. There are not a lot of men mentors. They don't have the conversation. The issue, where it fell off. Y'all wanted to know where it broke apart. I'm gonna tell y'all where it broke apart. It broke apart right above my generation. Whatever age group y'all consider that to be, that's where it broke apart. Because they didn't have the conversation with the ones above them, and the conversation broke down, and we do not communicate with each other at all. I am a rarity. I can have a conversation with the 60-year-olds in my neighborhood. I can have a conversation with the 40-year-olds in my neighborhood. I could go kick it with the 18-year-olds in my neighborhood. I could kick it with my generation.
It broke down earlier. It broke down earlier than that. This year at Martin Luther King Day, I had to go to a country town named Refugio, Texas, and speak at a program.
Okay.
And part of my speech was I got on the older people that were older than me. And I say the reason that we can't properly train the generation under us is because you didn't finish your assignment.
Okay.
Say, man, when I finished in that room, them older people were like, Mr. Monroe, you right. We just stopped. Once we came out of, segregation and we had a little something, we really didn't teach y'all everything y'all needed to know. I say exactly. So we can only teach them what we know. So what I need from y'all, older generation, my real all-stars, you got to finish your assignment. You got more information that I need to know that I can pass down. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I always tell people I'm never beyond learning. Not just from older people. I learn from the youth every day, man. I learn from the youngsters every single day. It's something that they know that I don't. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's
where
why
they
you
feel
gotta
slighted
have
at. I'm talking to that. Yeah, I'm just giving you that part. That's where they feel slighted. Now, not saying you. I'm talking about as a mass. The older generation tend to look at the youngest like they don't got, like their IQ is off. They just oh y'all that hip hop generation, y'all popping pills, y'all. That's why they get emotional and they feel and they go back. You got to understand they do research. They got internet. They look back and they look at whatever we gonna go to say they wasn't on drugs. Like, I'm just saying the way they come off, not the conversation they have, it's the way they present the conversation is why it get like that. As men is gonna get confrontational, it's gonna get aggressive. That doesn't change the love and the intent behind the conversation. It's okay. Men are emotional. I'm a sports dude. I do a sports podcast. You would watch that show and you would think we hate each other. We literally get off and call, laugh, joke, kick it. Like, I don't have that issue. Me and my homeboys could get into it. We men, we might have a moment. We might fight. I fought my brother plenty of times. That don't change the intent behind it. Sometimes disrespect gotta be fixed. So I am even with you. When he started cursing, I said, yo, you lost it right there. You having a conversation, you present your facts and allow the rebuttal so you can clearly break down. Because all he was trying to do was express to you, yo, at 27 years old, I got my house, I got my car, I'm taking care of my family. It might not be the way you did it, and it might not be the way you would like to see me do it, but I am doing it. Now, you might want to have a conversation with me about how I'm doing it and to do it better, or to make sure it's solid in foundation and it lasts over a long period of time. But to say the way I'm doing it is anything less because it's not your way, I just find that to be like, it is slightly offensive to go, yo, I'm in a different era, boss. I did it. If I got a house, if I bought it off of crypto, it don't matter how I bought the house. I bought the house, man. I got it fixed. I don't care if I call it.
I don't get offended easily. But I know, see, us old school, we say things different than you youngsters. You know, where I come from, we say hit dog gonna holler. You don't get offended unless it offends you. Unless it really touches something inside of you. So a hit dog gonna holler. You see what I'm saying? So if you were here and you were schooling us, you know, and I'm like, okay, I hear him, but he really ain't talking to me, so I ain't tripping.
Right.
But if you saying something and it's starting to bother me, and my chest starts, my heart starts beating faster.
It's on you.
It's messing with me now. Because I already know I ain't doing whatever he's talking about is pertaining to me. And see, that's where the youngsters get a little offended and, you know, their feelings get hurt. You know, like I got my man on here. Let me tell you, Jamal Thomas said, everyone's situation is different. The economy has changed drastically. Most black folk in today's world aren't able to fund a home on one income. Stop.
Agreed.
I get it.
Agreed.
But if you need your wife to fund a home because you need two incomes, then you need to adjust the way that you live so that you can find her somewhere to live and you fund it on your income. Now, if she wants better than that, she has to become the enhancer. Now she can go get a job and help you. But if you the man, look, this is what I can afford. This is what I can afford in the drive.
Now here you go. Now you touched on what the current generation deals with. It's not based on what I can provide. It's what I want. So you're looking at us, telling us as men to provide and be able to financially do what you just said. And there are women going, no, I don't want that. I want that.
And it's cool.
If you're not doing that,
it's cool
you're not a
man.
man.
Doesn't want it. It's cool if she doesn't want it because it takes us back to the Bible. Eve was put in the Garden of Eden to be an enhancer. So if she don't want that 73 Cutlass in my driveway, and she wants that 220 Benz, you're gonna have to go get a job and help me now.
But that's where you're hearing the men argue back the 50-50 part. Not only do they want the hat, they want the Birkin bags and the heels too. They want the vacations 3 times a year, and the kids provided too. They want you to pick them up while you go to work. They want you to job. Like, come on. You asking a generation to look back and go, yo, hold on. So I'm supposed to do what y'all telling me, and they supposed to live like that. I'm just only referring to the women that are living the way you just said. There are a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I don't feel like I'm coming at them. I'm disrespecting them.
If you bought your house on cryptocurrency and it ain't nothing but a shack, it's your little palace.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if you gonna be with somebody and all they want is Gucci and Louis Vuitton, then that's your business if you dumb enough to be with them. I don't want to be with somebody like that. You gonna love me for me. I ain't listening to I'm a savage. I listen to him. I don't listen. I'm a savage. Let me break it down to you. While you being a savage, I got that old school Heavy D on. You gonna love me for me. I ain't got no money for no Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I'm trying to keep food in the icebox. But I'm gonna make sure you look nice. But that's what I'm saying. You're not being less of a man. If she wants all this additional stuff, then she can go get a job and she can help you. You're still being a man because you're doing what you're supposed to do. But a lot of these dudes, whether they're old or young nowadays, whether they're old or young, man, they looking for some Section 8, man.
Facts. They looking for help. They looking for help. Absolutely. That's a fact. They looking for help. But hold
on. Now I got my big partner. Lester Patton just showed up.
Okay.
And I ain't been feeling bad, so I hope you feeling better. This man been knowing me since I was 14.
Okay.
This man worked with me in the company that I ran. I ran stadiums, concession stands and stadiums all around the country. He was with me. So he was around my wife. Lester, did my wife have to work? So I want to make sure I ain't telling no lies on you. Did she have to work? No. I'm not talking about you because there's other people they'll question me. Did she have to work? Was everything provided for her and her boys? Now I'm a future type of dude. They wasn't my sons, but I made sure they had everything that they needed.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So he'll answer because it's just kind of slow. But all I'm saying is, and the one thing she would tell me, you know what she would tell me? He just responded, no. A simple no, because he was there. I was in New Orleans with my team. She was in Houston. When she was like, you gone too long, say, man, you got cars in the driveway, rent you a car, come up here. I had 2 houses, 2 different states.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Dorothy. You see what Dorothy just said?
Okay. Now, Lester was with me with the second wife, Tyrone Calais, who is my hype man for almost 20 years when I was doing music. He was with me with my first wife for 17. Ain't none of them had to work.
I'm with you.
And they had the finest of everything.
I'm with you.
Now, me, I was the bum of the family. Because they be just diamond shining and I'm walking around in some sweatpants. Because that's just me. But they had what they needed. And that's all I'm saying. If you're going to be a man, he even said he lived with me. He said she kept the best of everything.
No,
he said, I lived there. So my thing is, it's not hard to be a man.
No.
We just have to accept the requirements of being a man, and we just need to get to it.
And the generation got to come back down and understand it's not going to be easy. They just not going to listen. You didn't grow up just listening. Clearly, there's trial and error. But the generation got to come back down and have the conversation with them. And they got to feel like it's a conversation, a dialogue from an intent of betterment, not of looking down or you know what I mean? It got to be open hand on both sides of the table. But what Dorothy said is a truth. I'm just telling you what they're dealing with. Maybe they not saying it and they're not voicing it, but there's a lot that's what they want. So that's why they're providing. That's why dude is going, nah, you're going 50-50 then. That's why they're saying you got a minimum. It's like a checklist. I'm telling you. It's a minimum. I need 3 vacations. I need this. I need that. I need to do that. There is a checklist. Now, none of this damn checklist got nothing to do with being a man. It's a want. But it's rendered back to the elders like they don't want to be men. They're confusing what that is. There are multiple women that'll tell you they just looking for somebody to be a man. Find one and tell them to tell you what a man is, and listen to what they tell you.
One of the attributes that I got women sitting on here right now. The average woman does not want a man that she feels cannot protect her.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of these youngsters, they got a problem with their hands. They like to put their hands on women.
Agreed.
But they won't protect their women.
Agreed. Agreed. A lot of them put their hands on them. Those are learned traits. They only got that from where? And we could go to any. See, I only have representation because I didn't live it. The only representation I have is the conversation with the elders and the movies, the documentaries, and the depictions. Right? Find me one. Like, tell me a movie that they didn't have some kind of physical abuse in it with against women. Find me generation, like all of that played in it. Those are learned behaviors. Agreed. They got a problem with their hands, but they won't protect them. They won't go all out. I'm not one of the fake groups that want to go and march for everything because I feel like there's certain times where you just got to be more than. You got to handle it. The way you protect your women, the women that you're raised with, around you, how to stop certain things. That's a conversation, again, for men to have about why they're not protecting women.
I told them a movie they could watch.
Huh?
Tell them go watch Claudine.
Yeah, I know you gave them the movie to watch. But understand, I guarantee you 90% of them don't know that. Who gonna tell them to watch that? Besides you saying it tonight, who gonna tell them?
90% don't know
what movie that is.
Listen to what I'm saying. 90% don't know, but 50% don't want to learn after 90. They don't want to learn.
That don't go by age. That go by mentality. It's not the age. There's 45-year-old men living like that.
Because it's easier to revert back to being a boy nowadays. Just think, before all this came about with Section 8 and all this funding
Agreed.
For living, for low-income housing and all that, even in the 70s, and that was before you. So the 60s, the 70s, and early 80s, they ain't had them luxuries.
Correct.
But now they have those luxuries. So even established men who just get tired of paying the $2,200 mortgage note will go to the club and try to find them a youngster, a young woman that's got some Section 8, and they just steal their chunk a couple of dollars, and then they the cleanup man, and they just fall back into that, and then they good with that.
Correct.
But one thing that second wife used to tell me, she used to laugh because every time I would pay the mortgage note, $2,200, and that was just the house in Houston.
I'm with you.
The house in New Orleans was $1,200. So $2,200 I paid. And she was on Facebook one day. She said, "I've never seen a man that just walk around and sing because he paid the mortgage note." I say, it just feels good to be a man. It just feels. I say, I come from nothing, from being poor. But I pay in a month. My daddy didn't even make in a month. He didn't even make in a month. So it just feels good to walk around and be able to say, I did what a man was supposed to do.
Can we have a real conversation about that comment alone?
Shoot, we on here.
I've never seen a man singing about paying the mortgage. Now, I could guarantee if a 31 posted about that nigga, man, that's what you're supposed to do. Why is he smiling? I'm telling you, they lazy. I'm telling you what the backlash becomes because I'm proud to be a man. They can't. That goes back to my point. Ask women. When you talk about the men, when I said it, and I'm not shooting at them, I'm letting you know that it got to a point where we were raised by women that taught us these principles, these laws, and these values. Some of them that was raised by women, some had both parents. We was raised on how to do this. And then you got out here in the real world. We went to college. We started experiencing, and it became a city girl, hot girl. And that's not in the last few years. That's all the way through 2020. It's just been a twerk city thing. It went viral, and it just went crazy. And there's a certain point where dudes it's not so much they don't want to, but it's only a certain level you're gonna force me to do. And if the elder generation don't like it, too bad, because you don't gotta deal with what we dealing with in there. That's where they're coming from, because you're not seeing what we're dealing with. You raised your daughters properly, but I'm telling you, it's some out here that was not raised properly.
Let me tell you something, man. When I ran that company, and matter of fact, Lester and Tyrone both worked for me at one time, and I was a teammate. I didn't feel like I was their boss. The reason I could walk around and feel like I could sing when I paid the mortgage note, I'm gonna tell you why.
Right.
Because if I'm paying $2,200 here for this house, I'm paying $1,200 for that house.
Right.
I got 4 cars in the driveway.
Got you.
I'm paying notes on all 4.
Mm-hmm.
She kept a rental car every month, so that's another $1,200-$1,300 I had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I calculated up $8,000-$9,000 worth of bills every month, you know why I was singing?
Mm-hmm.
I must be making a hell of a lot of money.
Agreed.
Now here's the thing.
But a lot of them not making a lot of money. So I ain't got 2 cars. I got 2 cars. So I
want you to hear this part.
Okay.
Lester and Tyrone can vouch.
Mm-hmm.
The youngsters that work for me, I'm gonna teach you how to make the money I make. I'm making 20, 30, 40,000 a month after I pay everybody. That's what I'm taking home. I want to teach you how to make it. You know how many of them motherfuckers just blew it?
Okay, got you.
No. Saying we had a conversation one day, and I say I get it with y'all some days, because all y'all want to do is make enough money to buy a sack. Come to work for 2-3 days, beating up my phone. I'm gonna let me pay you for these 2-3 days so you can go on about your business. But I'm telling you that I want you to make this kind of money. I'm gonna show you how to make this kind of money. Shay Brown, I didn't waste nothing. And I'm gonna tell you, baby, at the end of the day, I don't want to be rich, I want to be wealthy. She said it sounds like you wasted a lot of money too.
Not at all.
No, I didn't waste money. Because during the pandemic, how many of y'all got the $1,200? I didn't get it.
Right, because you're in the same
I didn't get it. But I'm also an education advocate right now. So I'm going to put all y'all on a hustle right now. You feel me? I'm going to give all of y'all your own business right now.
Talk to me.
With the way school is, and it's all messed up, these kids are a lot of places they're going to have to do virtual learning through their laptops. Why in the hell aren't y'all being tutors? They paying $100 an hour on an average. Talk to you, boy, I'm a hustler. I wake up every morning getting it. You see what I'm saying? I never had a clue. You know, everybody want to be something when they're young.
Correct.
I never had a clue I would make $300,000 a year selling hot dogs.
Hustle.
You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, no, I didn't waste a lot of money. What I was saying about the pandemic was, while everybody getting the $1,200 or people scrambling, I never once missed paying nothing.
Right.
Why? Because I have a 6-month emergency fund of money that I save.
Correct.
So I don't have to worry about my bills for at least 6 months. But that's just the emergency fund.
Correct. I got you. I understand
what I'm saying. So if I'm a man, I'm gonna make sure, pandemic or not, that I can take care of my business for 6 months without ever touching my savings account.
Got you.
So no, I didn't make any mistakes. I didn't waste. I think I wasted more money when I was in my 20s.
Absolutely.
When I was that 18-year-old, just like them youngsters. So that's why I can talk to them and tell them what they should not do. Now it's up to them to trust me. Okay, well, dude, you're looking at a man that grew up with only 3 pairs of sweatpants in his life.
Okay.
But yet, I got married on a beach in Hawaii at sunset.
Right.
Took 17 people down there on my dime. How do you do that? How do you even get to a point where you're financially able to do that? And I want to tell y'all, if you smoke cigarettes and you ain't never been to Hawaii, they buy $12 a pack.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if I gotta listen to them, because I gotta listen to these youngsters. When it come to technology,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get the game from them.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm telling them when it comes to life, let's have a conversation. I don't want to talk down to you, but I want to give you the information. Now, if you get the information and you blow it, at least I can say I gave it to you.
And that's the necessary need. The open forum amongst men of different generations coming together and having a conversation. We don't. It's on the men part. The reason it's that is because the generations and conversations don't happen. It's going to be emotional. There's going to be some truth to there that both parties have to accept, admit, and move forward and grow from. Even women have women's summits and they come together. They got tea parties. They have wine, sipping wine. We don't do anything together as a unit of men in a culture generation. It doesn't matter what it is. We could go to sports. The older generation just negatively likes some of the younger generation in sports, naturally because it's not played the way they did. But in the same breath, then get mad when the younger generation flex and go, yo, we make more money than y'all did. So our way, why our way wrong? It's because the conversation doesn't happen enough like we're having. That's why you're getting what you're getting from the youth. That's why it's not, you are a rarity, sir. I'm gonna be real with you. As an elder, you are a rarity that actually cares about the community, financially provides for yourself, can prove that on the books and provide jobs. That's not a reality for the older generation in the average hood. I lived in 7 different cities in my life before I was 18, from LA to Washington, D.C., Maryland, VA, all different times, New York. That ain't the average human. It's not a lot of those men in the community. There's not a lot of them turning around and coming back and really raising and going through that and going, nah, I'm going to teach you how to do it correct.
I think it's a lot of principles.
As a younger one, the youth don't have any principles. They don't have any dialogue. They are emotional and they don't want to listen. They don't want to respect the elders enough to hear what you have to say, even if you don't agree and agree to disagree. You don't have to.
You have elders on this stream right now.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Well, you had elders on the stream earlier that would never even try to dialogue with that young man right now.
That's my point.
Because they don't like the way he handled me.
Correct.
And a lot of elders are still there and they're willing, but they're not going to tolerate the disrespect. They're not going to do it because we were not allowed to disrespect our elders. Now, when I tell you this here, I'm a big hip hop fan. And one of the things that irks the hell out of me with hip hop nowadays is the way the younger generation disrespects the forefathers of hip hop.
When you say disrespect, what do you mean?
Just disrespect them. They just like what their contribution was nothing. I'm from Texas. It took us forever to be recognized in hip hop. That doesn't mean I'll disrespect the forefathers from New York. I'll never do it. The Kool Hercs, the Africa Bambatas, I listen to that. You see, I tell people I love hip hop. I was around it when Run was on the turntable for Curtis Blow. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is you don't understand tradition when you continuously disrespect the legacy.
Correct.
You can't learn about tradition when you disrespect the legacy.
Correct.
And that's why the younger generation is lost, because they've spent too much time disrespecting the people who could actually give them the game.
All right. I'm gonna help you in the hip hop world, right? I'm gonna help you understand a little bit better from the hip hop perspective, right? Because I don't think a lot of them disrespect. I think a lot of them don't do enough homework to know actually who they are and never care to. But here, let me give you another reason, right? Because there was a generation of hip hop you came out the 90s into the 2000s where it was still it was still conscious lyrics, even though it was good dance and feel good music. You have that run. Then you have the run where it's a little lull in music and you get Soulja Boy, right? You get the Soulja Boy era and he's dancing and he's making good music and it's not gang shoot 'em up. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's actually the essence of hip hop. It's feel good dance music from where he can off YouTube. Do you know that the Ice-T's go, that music was soft. He was weak. It's whack, y'all here dancing. right? And he wasn't the only one having a problem with Soulja Boy dancing, and that's all he was doing. A kid in his essence dancing and making hip hop music. Then when he see that the older ones is dissing him and they not giving him no respect because what he is doing ain't what they look at it and they thought was cool. Then he go hang out with Gucci, get tatted up, he turned blood, he turned animal, he disrespectful. Now was look at him. You disrespected him when he danced. You told him it was soft. He needed to be tougher. So he went and got a version of what you thought was tough. You just cock killing. This is who you was, Ice-T. So he went and manipulated that. You can't. That's the point of. That's what I say when the generation looked down. There was no reason for Ice-T to diss Soulja Boy for dancing. He was 13 years old. Then when he go gangbanging, you want to know why he went in gangbang because y'all told him when he was dancing it wasn't cool. When it was Pop Lock and it was the Franchise Boys and the Lappy Tappy, y'all all took it for, oh, that's feminine as this. Nobody said nothing when y'all was break dancing, doing the butt. Nobody said nothing when y'all was having y'all dance flow. But when they started dancing, y'all challenged them and said it was soft and it was weak. And then when they started being gangsters and they disrespectful, then it's y'all not men. Like you can't have it both ways. Let them be kids. Then let them be dancers. There's plenty of artists that came out dancing. When they dance and do all that, they tell them they soft, they feminine, they weak. And then when they turn the other way and they don't want to show them no respect, they want to know why they coming at them like that. Look how you came at me when I came in the game.
Well, I gauge the youngsters like this in the hip hop game. I ask the same question every time. What's the coldest line you ever heard in hip hop? What's the coldest line you ever heard a rapper say?
It's line. I don't got it. It's the whole phrase for me.
See, I grew up in the trenches.
Okay.
I grew up on a block that was legendary. So when I hear somebody say, how many times you had your homies shot by the same motherfucker who came from your homie's block, but you get caught up in the paper chase and lose respect for the game that was ordered before the cake was made. I would ask the youngster, what he talking about? What he talking about? See, I come from the era of hip hop where you had to be thought provoking. I come from the era of hip hop where you had to carry an album by yourself. You could go get all your little partners and have 5 and 10 features on your album. You had to rock it by yourself.
Correct.
So that's why I love the Biggies. I love the Pops. But the coldest I've ever heard is Rakim.
Okay.
Now I'm from Texas. Born and raised, but the coldest I ever heard was Rakim. So in the game that I'm in, and I keep my microphone on my arm at all times, even I have to respect the elders.
I agree. I don't think there's no disrespect.
And I just think that the youngsters, in a lot of ways, they got to tone it down and they got to start listening.
I agree. And
they don't have to make the mistakes that they make if they listen.
I'll give you the line, right? I'll give you. I'm just with a perspective. Lyrically, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like Common Sense. When your sense got that much in common and you've been hustling since, your inception for perception go with what makes sense. That's all they doing. The music, I get it. I don't listen to it. I don't care for it.
I don't listen to the new stuff.
I particularly like J. Cole and the Kendricks and I grew up in liking artists that said something within the music, but I can't look down at them and judge for what they do. Dubstep when they raving, if that's what they want to do, they want to do. I'm more for them to stop violently killing each other and doing all that. I'd rather you be there. The elder generation looked at like, and this is a different conversation, right? Which I understand, but the elder generation will look at a youth, right, and say, you little gay, y'all little fags, y'all gay, a lot of y'all gay. This is the area y'all growing up in. And I go, they had gay people in every generation. Now they were scared to live. They were nervous to be out there, but they were gay in every generation. We can go back in the times and read it. We could go to the books. We could go to music artists. We could go to entertainment. We can go to ones that hated and lied and was making a perception and acting like they was something they wasn't. This is in every generation. The youth generation just don't care. Me personally, I would rather know where you stand than for you to hide it and me not know. And that's what the elders dealt with. So when they out here and they let them do it, it don't bother the men, the youth. It don't bother us with them. Who cares? It's more women for us then. That's how we view it. You live in your own peace how you choose to, because the past generations didn't, and they was destroyed, and they destroyed others that are these youth right now because they was living lies. They wasn't living their truth. And the elders hate to tell the truth. You got to call them on that. They don't want to tell their truth. They're not living. They wasn't living their truth. They was living lies.
So what you're saying is we don't tell the truth on a lot of issues.
No, they're not telling the issue. They're not telling the truth.
I'm gonna tell you the truth on the issue you're talking about. I am not into the demasculation of the black man.
Agreed.
I am not into it. So if that means I'm anti-gay, they can take it any way they want.
No, that doesn't mean.
My thing is I believe that if a boy is born a boy, we need to raise him to be a man.
Correct.
And the reason that we're running short of men, because nobody seems to have a problem taking a young, strong black man and turning him into a young, strong black girl.
Correct.
And that's something I don't want any parts of.
Absolutely. As you shouldn't. What I'm saying is to not have there's a difference. I'm just telling you the conversation of how we can stop it from being aggressive and it coming out angry and it coming out like there's nobody being heard and understanding. There's a difference from something I will not participate in and something I will down talk, disrespect, and blatantly disregard in an era, in a different time in life where it exists. To look at other men, I've watched older men look at other men and say, you weak for allowing them to exist almost. And that's how. Who am I as a man to poke you for living your life? That don't make me no man. Who you choose to be in your life is who you choose to be. I wouldn't participate in helping, but that doesn't make me less of a man for not beating you down or belittling you or berating you for who you choose to be or what you how you choose to live. I don't think that makes me a man or not. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of things that they could change. I think honestly, we need to have more fist fights nowadays.
Agreed.
If we can't figure it out through conflict resolution, let's box it out. I'd rather see you box it out than pick up a pistol. But a lot of these kids nowadays don't even know how to fight.
The generation prior to mine started the pistol game. Them the ones that said you ain't got no bodies, you're not shooting. Think of the eras. If I'm 80, I'm coming through the 90s era of the drug trade. It was massive. Doesn't mean
that it's right. The thing is, isn't okay if they listen to me. Let's box it out.
Yeah,
we old school. You got a problem with a man? You go in the backyard. Let's get it squared up. If you felt like you lost, you didn't want to take that whooping, we come back tomorrow. We could do it again
until you feel good.
Exactly. But some kind of way we have to understand that the pistol ain't the problem solver no more. All the pistol gonna do is make you destroy your life, their life, and somebody gonna get a bunch of time.
They can't take the L. That's the problem.
They can't take the L, and they definitely can't do the time. A whole bunch of them. New Edition ain't never got to worry about. The group New Edition ain't never got to worry about running out of members.
Agree.
These youngsters nowadays, they love to be Mr. Telephone Man when they go to jail. They ain't ready for what they got to deal with in there, man. And that's why I tell them, stay up out of there. You ain't built for that in there, man. You ain't built for that. I don't have to, like Tyrone say, they willing to take a bullet before a black eye.
Agreed.
And that's real. They willing to take a bullet before a black eye. That proves your masculinity, or that proves you a damn fool.
That not being able to take the L is living with examples that didn't teach you about fighting. And all I'm saying is, whether right or wrong, how it happened, the government got involved, whether right or wrong, there has to be an understanding from an elder generation to understand that a lot of them got locked up. And in a time, a lot of us raised ourselves in certain forms of fashions. They raised themselves. So when they came home and they said, you didn't teach them to fight. Now, some had other males in their life, older brothers, uncles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody had that. But coming out of the drug era, they didn't have it. So, yeah, it's a time to come back down and have a conversation and understand you lose a fight. Like right now, you lose a fight. The reason it turned into the gun is because they hit social media and you care about what everybody care about your lost L. They're emotionally weak. They're mentally weak. Yes. Younger generation are mentally weak. But you gotta come back and have the conversation with them.
The attribute of being a man is simple. Have a conversation with a man that's got about 20 years on you. With a stable man. With a man that has a track record. Sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because he can tell you what it took to get to 60 years old. A 25-year-old can't tell you that.
Correct.
But if he's 60 and he's established and he good, then why wouldn't you want to sit down and talk to him?
Somebody you need to gain from and learn.
You need to have that conversation. But the thing is, don't sit down with the disrespect in your voice.
Absolutely.
He may not sit there and hold that conversation with you very long.
No, come open-minded. It's
they got to open their minds. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of them can open their minds.
Yeah.
A lot of them can open their minds.
Yeah.
You know, I just felt like tonight.
I'm with you.
I made it just start beating.
I'm with you. And I enjoyed the conversation because of what it is. Because every generation, listen, the repeated cycle that we keep having as men is that the 50 to 60-year-olds are not talking to the 40s to 30-year-olds. The 30s not talking to the 25 to 18-year-olds. And we're repeating the same cycles that each one did at that age group. And we're waiting till we up here 60 and we're forgetting about them. When you can come back down at 60 and give it to the 30, 31-year-old and go, yo, you can skip all that you about to go through for the next 30 years. Wrong way, go this way. Let's miss that so we can get to better parts in life. But they gotta come back down. Somehow, some way, there has to be summits created to where men come and have open dialogue. Yes, it's gonna get rowdy. Yes, it's gonna be emotional. It is a reprogramming of some form, but it's necessary. Because if they don't understand that you're established, they gotta be. I don't understand why me. I'll go get the game from you. It don't matter how you're established. I'm going to get the game because of your wisdom. But at this point, a lot of them, you got to show them that you established and you got it for them to pay you any attention. And there's a meeting of the minds, and it's a summit that is necessary to have because a lot of them don't understand how to handle it. That's what you're dealing with, and that's why it's coming off so aggressive.
I'm good with it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. It take a lot to shake me with a youngster in a conversation. It take a lot. At the end of the day, if I die tomorrow, I've lived my life. I've done things that these youngsters will never be able to do, and that ain't bad for a kid that grew up with nothing. So I never worry about it. I'm always here for dialogue, for conversation.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell any one of them that want to come, you're not going out talking. I done lived too long. I done been through too much. I done fell off my feet 7 or 8 times. And I done came back 9.
Okay.
So, that's the easy part. I can tell you how to restructure everything. I can tell you how to get anything you want. I can tell you every mistake that you've made without even knowing who the fuck you is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can also tell you when I tell you made a mistake, I'm gonna give you the information so that you don't have to make it twice. Bingo. So you never have to make the mistakes that I made if I give you the information. It's totally up to you. So if you want to be a good husband, and understand in a marriage, you're gonna have to be a communicator. You're gonna understand in a marriage that every day is not gonna be a good day.
Agreed.
Now, if you're out here trying to be a community activist, you're trying to help your community, then understand your back is against a wall. That you're fighting the younger generation, you're fighting the politicians, you're fighting the school systems, you're fighting everybody. So a lot of days you're not gonna get any help. You're gonna have to do whatever you need to do on your own and make it do what it do. So that's why I tell people when it comes to the school system, man, I crippled the 4th largest school district in the country by my damn self. And never thought twice. Because I needed to do that to make sure those kids got everything that they needed. So if you want to be a good husband, learn the first attribute, which is being a provider. She does not have to go half. If she doesn't like what you provided and she wants better, she needs to become an enhancer. She has to help you now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that a lot of times it doesn't work in a marriage because people don't know how to play their position. And they're sitting on first base with a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, I do appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on, having a conversation and dialogue. I just wanted to express it the way he was trying to, without the emotion. I just wanted to express what he was trying to express outward of that. Basically, it needs to be more conversations. And I agree that you've got to come open-minded and respectfully articulate what they feeling, where they coming from. And the dialogue will, it'll sway to the other side. And I purposely did not want to dive into the women on that generation because that's not the conversation. The conversation is for men. I allow the women to deal with the women because I'm not a woman. So I don't know how they need to fix their situation. I just know they need to fix it.
There it is, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right now. There it is. Y'all have a good night.